Welcome to week 2 of NFL predictions. Now in week 1, I got 75% of my picks right, going 12-4. So here's the overview. The Packers win, not too shocking. The Patriots win, completely surprised me, but they played their game well. The Steelers, a little surprising just how bad Kirk Cousins was. And then I was completely right about Caleb Williams not being a good QB, terrible coaching, but for some reason Titans just handed them the game. I mean, a blocked punt and a pick six? Like, come on now, Tennessee. That was in the past. It's on the week 2, which starts tonight with Thursday night football between the Bills and the Dolphins. Now, last time these teams met in week 18, the Bills just dominated the Dolphins at the end of the game, came up with the W and won the division. Now, for some reason, I just have a hunch Miami will finally beat them. You know, Josh Allen has lost 2 of his star receivers. Miami was looking good against Jacksonville. I mean, Tyreek Hill did his thing. Waddle's there. This game is just so hard to pick because these teams are so close. Josh Allen is a better QB than Tua. I just think Tua got the better supporting cast, and with home field, I just feel like they'll finally get over the hump. Like, at some point, Mike McDaniel is going to cook up a game plan that's going to get them a W against the Bills, and I think it finally happens tonight, and the Dolphins start 2-0. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers at my Minnesota Vikings. Now, week 1, as I predicted, San Francisco would completely destroy the New York Jets, was going to be a blowout. I was right about that. I was right about my Vikings beating the Giants. I just did not think we would dominate them. I mean, 28-6, and now after we dominate them, everyone's just, oh, the Giants stink. The Giants stink. It's like, no, we're a really good football team, and we're going to show it this Sunday. You know, I think it's going to be close. I think it could go either way. I can't guarantee a win, but I'm going to pick my Minnesota Vikings to win. Why not? No one believes in us, but I do not care. Week 5 last year, this very similar 49ers team pulled up to Minnesota and we shocked them on Monday Night Football. We're about to do it again in week 2. They'll likely be without Christian McCaffrey, which helps out our defense, which is a really good defense. And also, we got their backup QB, Sam Darnold. He's going to know their defense well. He's going to know how to cook them. We got Justin Jefferson cooking up at receiver, and they got to deal with Aaron Jones. Good luck. I think it will be a very close game, a very competitive game, but I got the Minnesota Vikings winning by 1 to 3 points. I like the home crowd. I like our team. I like our grit, and why stinking not? Next, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the New England Patriots. Now, this one is a tough one to pick. It is a very tough one to pick, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Seattle had a solid week 1, you know, playing an awful rookie QB who's almost as old as me, and y'all call me Unk. Then the New England Patriots surprisingly beating the Cincinnati Bengals, but still week 1, everything's a little bit shaky. I'm surprised that their defense is as solid as it is without Bill Belichick as their coach. Now, part of me does want to pick New England. Like, could their defense shut down Geno Smith? You know, McDonald is a first-year head coach, but I just can't do it. I just think Geno is going to do enough to keep them in this game. I think that Seattle defense is going to shut down a very slow New England offense. I mean, nothing about the Patriots offense really stood out to me yesterday. It's not like they did anything crazy. Jacoby Brissett is probably a top 28 QB. I mean, like, come on, I can't pick the Patriots. I mean, they might get the upset. I give them like a 30% chance, but I just have to go with Seattle and Geno. He's such a better QB. Next, we got the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. I believe this is the week 2 toilet bowl. Now, it's a tough one to pick. I mean, the Giants look completely terrible. They played our Vikings team, but personally, I think they're pretty bad, but we're really good. But the Giants have a good D-line. Daniel Jones can cook at times, and they're playing a Washington Commanders team that just got owned by Baker and the Buccaneers. Washington has a rookie QB, and I think Daniel Jones wants to bounce back. I mean, he got booed by the fans. He leaves the stadium. The game's already over. He's trying to walk over to his car, the team bus or whatever. They're booing him there. I think he has a point to prove. I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think the Giants are furious, inflamed by that loss. I think they want it more. And I think they're going to head into Washington and win by about 10 points. No one believes in the Giants. Everyone's counting them out, acting like they're the worst team ever. But I still think their coach is all right. I think they got an okay roster. I don't see why they can't go in there and win this game against a rookie QB. And I know Dan Quinn cooked up in Dallas with that defense, but so was Mike Zimmer week 1. And I mean, Baker Mayfield, was that his best game ever? I mean, 4 touchdowns on your defense? So I think Danny Dimes might cook a little bit. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Carolina Panthers. And I mean, is anyone picking the Panthers? Even if you're a Panthers fan, you wouldn't pick the Panthers. You know, I might be a little biased, you know, to my Minnesota Vikings, but no Panthers fan is going to pick that sorry football team. They are completely terrible offensively, defensively. How do you give up 47 points? Like, that's just not normal. I mean, I guess it's week 1, but they are a terrible team. I heard tickets were going for $1.80. Now, that might be before fees, but how's it $2? I mean, Chiefs preseason tickets, even the worst tickets were, I think, at least $80. I mean, this is regular season we're talking about, and it's week 2, man. That is just sad. So obviously, I got to go with the Chargers. I mean, they had a great win in week 1 against a divisional opponent. Their new left tackle, Joe Alt, shut down Max Crosby, who might be the best defensive player in the league. And with Jim Harbaugh coaching, Justin Herbert at QB, I mean, top to bottom, this roster is better. I think they're going to win by about 20 points, man. It's about to be ugly again, and poor Carolina is going to start 0-2. Next, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in week 1, We were just talking about the Carolina Panthers. They got completely destroyed by the New Orleans Saints, 47-10, just total domination. But this Cowboys team is different. They have a good head coach. They have a good roster. They have decent ownership. You know, like they have things that the Carolina Panthers can only dream of, and they completely dismantled the Cleveland Browns. They torched their defense, which the Browns have a solid defense. I don't know what was wrong with Deshaun Watson. He was shut down. But I think Dallas is going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. I don't trust the Saints. I just think the Panthers are completely terrible. I don't see Derek Carr coming in and torching this defense. I mean, unless he's changed or had some kind of, miraculous comeback in his career. He was awful last year. I'll never forget, bro. This guy pulled up to Minnesota. We were up like 2-3 touchdowns. And then they send in stinking Jameis Winston, and he almost won the game. Derek Carr was completely shut down. I don't trust him to do as well. I truly think they're going to lose this game to a really good Dallas team. I like Dak cooking. I like CD cooking. That offense is on fire. They should be unstoppable Sunday. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts pulling up to Green Bay. Now, last week, the Colts lost in a very close game to the Houston Texans. Absolute shootout. I mean, Anthony Richardson, I did not know he had the arm in him. There was one play where this guy threw like a 65-yard palm in the air, an absolute dime over 2 defenders. This is a talented guy. Then they're playing a well-coached Packers team, but the Packers are missing Jordan Love, so a big question mark, how much production they can get on offense. They got Malik Willis at QB. I'm not sure how good he'll be. I don't know that he has that much NFL experience. Now, I still think this will be a close game just based on the coaching in Green Bay. I think Matt LaFleur, he's going to cook something up. But without Jordan Love at QB in a quarterback-driven league, I do not see them winning this game. I got the Colts by 3. Next, we got the Cleveland Browns pulling up to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Cleveland looked completely awful Sunday. They were so bad. I mean, they were worse than Tom Brady's announcing, and that was pretty bad as well. I just don't see them winning this game. Doug Peterson, he's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Trevor Lawrence is a solid QB, much better than Deshaun Watson, who has completely lost his step. He's just lost his game. I think Jacksonville is going to be mad after losing a very close one to Miami. Very winnable game there, just lost by a last-second field goal. I think in their home opener, they'll beat Cleveland by about 7. Now, Cleveland's defense will cause them some problems, but Deshaun got to score points, and I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. He just got dismantled by Mike Zimmer and that Cowboys defense. I mean, Mike's a good coach, but that's week 1. Like, they look like a Super Bowl all-time caliber defense week 1. They destroyed Deshaun Watson, so is he going to pull up to Jacksonville and win this game? No, he is not. Next, we got the New York Jets pulling up to play the Tennessee Titans. Now, in week 1 on Monday Night Football, of course, the Jets lost. Got kind of cooked as I expected. I mean, the Niners, they have a very good team. Very good continuation from last season. They've all played together, got a lot of work together. And the Jets look very inexperienced, not a lot of coordination, but the Titans look worse. I mean, how do you lose a game against that Caleb Williams performance? He was terrible at QB, could not move the ball, and then a pick 6, a blocked punt for a touchdown. Just inexcusable stuff from Tennessee. I don't know if their new head coach is up to the task. I think the Jets are going to be angry. I think that defense is going to be ferocious. I think we're going to get a bit of vintage Aaron Rodgers. And they got week 1 out of the way. They played together, a little bit of experience, and I think they're going to win a close one here. I think they'll only win by maybe a field goal. The Titans will put up a fight, but I can't pick them after that garbage week 1 performance against Chicago. I mean, what is that pick 6 from Will Levis? He throws the pick, and instead of going for the tackle, I mean, at least act like you're trying to tackle. He just goes on his knees, like, he just gave up. Crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff, Tennessee. How did y'all lose that game, bro? I'm low-key mad. Next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions, a rematch of the divisional round game in the playoffs last year. So, Tampa Bay absolutely cooked week 1. Baker Mayfield on fire with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin cooking up. Now, I think that Tampa Bay defense will be all right, but this will be, a real test for them against Jared Goff versus a rookie QB last week in Jaden Daniels. But the Lions last week showed that they could be cooked. I mean, Matt Stafford was doing his thing. He looked unstoppable, and if the Rams won the toss in overtime, they might have won that game. It's really hard to bet against Jared Goff. I think this game could go either way. Going to be a close one, but I got Tampa Bay by 3. I think they want to get revenge for week 1. Baker's on fire right now, and I'm not going to pick against the hot QB. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders pulling up to play the Baltimore Ravens, and I can't pick the Raiders. Can you pick the Raiders? I mean, come on now. Like, what are the Raiders going to do? They put up 10 points against the Los Angeles Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, his first game coaching the team. They're pulling up to play an angry Baltimore team after they just lost in heartbreaking fashion because Isaiah's likely toe just happened to be on the line. That Baltimore crowd's going to be crazy. That team's going to be locked in. I still believe Baltimore is a Super Bowl caliber team. The Raiders, they have Gardner Minshew at QB versus Lamar Jackson. I mean, good luck. Just good luck to the Raiders. I got the Ravens by 2 touchdowns. Now we get to the 4 o'clock window with the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Now these divisional rivals are both coming off of tough losses from last week. Rams, of course, lost Sunday night to the Lions in overtime. And the Arizona Cardinals, I believe at one point, were up 14 points against the Josh Allen Bills team. And this guy did his thing and came back against them. And after giving up a comeback like that, I don't trust Arizona's defense to keep Matt Stafford in check. I don't trust Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon to outcoach Sean McVay. And I don't trust receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., who put up 1 reception for 4 yards against the Bills, to outplay Cooper Kupp. The more I think about it, I think Los Angeles is going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. I mean, what are the Cardinals going to do against a team like this? I'm absolutely going with the Rams here. Next, we got a game the whole NFL world is looking forward to. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Bengals coming off a shaky week 1 with no Tyler Boyd, with no Joe Mixon. You know, is Joe Burrow not as Joe Cool as we thought. The Chiefs, unlike the Bengals, look like a championship caliber team, and they're here with home field advantage. Mahomes looked good week 1. Xavier Worthy seemed unguardable just with his speed. You still got Travis Kelce there. I'm not going to count out the Bengals because they're rivals with the Chiefs. They will absolutely put up a fight. But with that home field advantage and based on those week 1 performances, I've got to go with the Chiefs in this one. I got them by 7. Now, if you're a fan of defense, you're going to love this game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Denver Broncos. Now, Pittsburgh in week 1 won 18-0, scoring no touchdowns. It's ridiculous. I'm rooting for Justin Fields. I think he's a great kid, but is he a great quarterback? I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping with coaching he can do well, but I mean, no touchdowns week 1. We'll see in week 2. Now, can he keep control of the football and not turn it over? Because we know defensively the Steelers are going to show up and dominate Bo Nix. So I really think the big question is, can Justin Fields score a touchdown or 2 on that Broncos defense? Because if he puts up 14 points, that's a win. That is absolutely a win. If Justin Fields can get 2 touchdowns in this game, they're winning. Because that Broncos offense is in for a long day, which is why I got Pittsburgh by 7. Next, we got Sunday Night Football between Caleb Williams and the Bears versus the Houston Texans. And this one is going to be ugly, folks. This one is going to be very, very ugly. The Houston Texans are going to win this game by probably 20 points. I'm being serious. The Bears are a poorly coached team. The game was absolutely handed to them by the Tennessee Titans. They had no production offensively. Caleb Williams does not have the coaching to be a pro NFL QB. And you're going up a Texans team that just won a crazy shootout against a divisional rival. CJ Stroud is absolutely cooking up. He got a receiver core. I mean, he has 3 receivers on his team: Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Stephon Diggs. They each individually will be #1 receivers on other teams in the National Football League. So with that on offense, and you got D'Amico Ryan's coaching a Texans defense, which is going to cause some problems for Chicago, this one's going to get ugly fast. And it's Sunday Night Football, so they can't even cut the game. So if you're a Vikings fan, Packers, or Lions fan like me, get some popcorn because the Bears are about to get destroyed. Finally, we get to Monday Night Football between the Kirk Cousins-led Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, to be honest, if this was a week 1 matchup and I did not see these teams play, I will pick Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. But based on week 1, Kirk Cousins did not look good. I mean, he's coming off an Achilles injury. He did score 1 touchdown, but other than that, just so many bad reads, awful interceptions. I know he's playing a really good Steelers defense, but still, that was just such an awful performance. Then on the other end, you had the Eagles team winning a crazy game in Brazil. Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts looked pretty solid. Now, defensively, the Eagles let up a bit too much against Jordan Love, but is Kirk Cousins going to be that guy we saw in Minnesota and cook this defense? It's too big of a question mark for me to pick the Atlanta Falcons. I think it will be a close game, and as a Vikings fan, I'm 100% rooting for Kirk Cousins. I hope he turns this around and torches the Philadelphia Eagles, but I have to pick the Eagles to win just based on the week 1 performances, and I got Philly by 3. So those are my week 2 picks. Comment your picks down below, like and sub, and lace up.